I have a problem. I have too much Animorph stuff. My shelves aren't big enough, my walls aren't wide enough. I've got stuff that I can't fit anywhere anymore, so I'm constantly trying to readjust everything. I even made this recently. I made a little clay red-tailed hawk. Where the bloody hell do I could put it there, but then it's in the way of Sean at the back there. Yeah, he's now been demoted to the back of the shell so his head sticks over, but I've got pictures and commissions, I've got freaking everything, Animorphs. I'm not done! Damn the life of a collector. Anyway, today we're doing another AniLysis. Pardon the initial tangents. Today we're looking at another alien race, and this one I don't know how to pronounce, but it's either the Lagans, the Lagans, the Lagans, the Lager, yeah. It's a very obscure alien race, and it comes from this book, The Animorphs Chronicles. So what is the context for the Lagans? The Lager. I could do with some lager right now. Lima Alpha, Golf Alpha. So what's happened here is we got to the point where the Animorphs is this sort of being that's sort of going through the universe, chasing Kryak, who's trying to destroy planets, and the Animorphs is trying to stop him destroying planets, and it's a constant game of chase across the galaxies. Trying not to kill every race, trying to keep them going, while Kryak says, fuck that one, and fuck all those ones too. Okay? So that's the context. That's where the Lagans come in. Let's read some quotes. Kryak disappeared into Z-space, and I followed him as well as anyone can follow another through that shifting nothingness. I found him waiting for me in a solar system with 3 inhabited planets. Here is the game, Animorphs. 3 worlds, each inhabited by a sentient race, Lager, the Folk, and the Capucins. There are 3 asteroids strategically placed, 3 impacts within the next 5 minutes of time, except that one of those asteroids has already been mined and will explode into harmless debris before it can hit. You have my word on that. You have time to reach and destroy 1 asteroid, not the other 2. If you guess wrong and destroy the mined asteroid, then 2 planets will die. If you guess right and detonate one of the unmined asteroids, only a single world will die. So that's the little game that Kryak is playing. You have a choice. You've got to destroy one of these 3 asteroids. If you get it right, only 1 planet will die, only race will be obliterated into oblivion. If you get it wrong, 2 will be obliterated and sent to the pits of the abyss of the oblivion of the nothingness. Who the bloody hell is that trying to text me? So we've got the 3 races, the Lagans. I mean, he spoke of them as if they were plural there and said Lager, L-A-G-A. So Lagans is probably not the correct way of doing it, so the plural is Lager. Fuck, I keep saying Lager. And I'm reminding myself that I'm doing a video of Raptor tonight where I shall be drinking said alien race. In high quantities. Remember to go check out my videos of Raptor, by the way. Good fun. I really enjoy them. Another tangent. The Lager are one of these 3 races. Now, he knows who the Capucins are, which I believe they were the race that destroyed the Ketrans at the start of the book, if I remember correctly. There'll be an AniLysis on them sometime in the future, I'm sure, so we can find out. The Folk are sort of... they're a bit violent, they're not too bad, but yeah, they're a bit like humans, really, in a way, from what I remember. And then we've got the Lager, which the Animorphs describes thusly. The Lager, sub-technological farmers. He would expect me to save the Lager. He would expect me to annihilate that asteroid and thus spare the peaceful farmers, and the Lager would be the species he hated most. But expecting me to save the Lager, he would know I would guess his mind. This is essentially the only information we get about this particular alien race. They are sub-technological farmers. He also says peaceful farmers, and they inhabit this 1 planet, okay? That's all we know about them. So of course this game goes ahead, and what is the fate of the Lager? What choice does the Animorphs make? Who is obliterated? Let's find out. I powered full speed to intercept the Lager asteroid. I aimed, fired, watched my beams impact the distant asteroid. too far away, and then the asteroid was within the shadow of the planet. There are no shockwaves in space. I did not feel the impact, but I could see the green and blue planet of the Lagans shudder. An amazing, awesome, terrible sight. The planet shuddered, seemed almost to stop, unimaginable momentum checked. Slowly at first, then faster, a crack appeared, many cracks. The land was ripped apart, the seas drained into these craters, into these chasms. The white-hot core of the Lagan world met oceans of cold water and exploded with breathtaking violence. The Lagan world blew apart in steam and fire and debris. Blew apart! A faint bluish haze of atmosphere clung to some of the larger chunks, then evaporated. Every living creature died. So I've just noticed there, to contradict the earlier point I made, the Animorphs refers to them plurally as Lagans, whereas Cryek referred to them as simply Lager. So there's a bit of a discrepancy between those two on how they're referred to plurally. So do as you will. I'm going to call them the Lagans. Okay? But what happened was, the Animorphs guessed wrong, so in that quote he's decided, oh shit, I've guessed wrong, I'm going to try to intercept this asteroid that's heading towards the Lagans because I want to protect them the most out of the three. But he fails, and the Lagans are obliterated, just blown away, their bodies exploding in unison, like a big choir of bodily debris. Why have I got this imagery in my head? Speaking of bodily debris, we don't really know what their bodies look like, so once again, like with the pond, we're left to guess. So they're farmers, sub-technological, peaceful. They're probably similar to us in a way. They're probably bipedal, because the only farmers we know in reality tend to be bipedal. So they probably use a lot of tools, so they've got digits like us. I mean, I could be wrong, but this is pure speculation. Nobody's got any other evidence of what these things actually bloody look like. So, yeah, I think they look sort of like us, but they eat through chest cavities. So by eating, they drag themselves along the ground, along the stuff they farm. So they've got, as well as digits, they've got big scythes along their arms, and they sweep it and then drag themselves along the ground. What are you doing, Lila? You're ruining my setup. I've just been talking about that. If you ruin any of that, I will kill you. Silly cat. So yeah, they do that, and they've got 12 tails. Why? Because those tails have also got scythes, and they swing them around, and they sort of dance around in the field, swinging their tails, and slicing up the farm stuff. They're quite a jolly race, and they do a lot of sea shanties. So that's the Lagans. That's my speculation on what they're like. But that's the only information we get. It's a sad story, really, because the Lagans were totally wiped out. They no longer exist. We only knew them as essentially cannon fodder. But that's them. So that's your AniLysis, and we've got more to come. So stay tuned for the next one. I shall see you soon. Ta-ra!